Happy holidays. Am I officially allowed to say that now
You
that
can
we're
now.
only a week and a half away?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Look, I'm even
I
drinking my
dressed for
coffee out of
Look
my.
at you. I wore my
Mhm.
Christmas outfit. You have your holiday Rudolph mug, very very festive. Is that all the decoration that you have at your house is just that mug?
No, you're so mean to me. You're like a real. I'm not even getting into this
Let's
again.
not talk about that.
Do you know how many conversations I've had with people in the last month, and people have been saying to me, "You're quite a Scrooge, aren't you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm not. I
I don't
like
think you
Christmas
appreciate,
at Christmas time. I like Christmas at Christmas
okay,
time."
okay. All right. Let's focus on our goal for this last pod of the year
Yep.
was to not complain or focus on Andrew, but to talk about trends, what we saw happen this year, predictions for next year. Let's have at it. I mean, this has been a real shit year. Oh, do we beep things? Are we bleeping?
No, we're not. But normally you can restrain your potty mouth. But it's a truth. It's a truthism, actually. You're saying. I don't
Yeah.
disagree with you.
Yeah.
2024 has actually been quite a difficult year. I think. I think
Yeah.
everyone's found it quite challenging.
I think so
Often,
too. Let's just get to 2025 already and just flush this year.
yeah, I've been over 2024 since about January last year, this year, whatever it was. Yeah. So
Exactly.
yeah. Why do you think that is?
So,
Why do you think we've? Why I know why we as consultants have struggled a wee
yeah.
bit to keep
Yeah.
momentum going, but why?
But
Why do you think the
on the
sector's
association
struggled?
side, I think we've said the same things for many years, and I feel like 2024 was evidence of our complaints about members being busy, our members being distracted, our members having so many other priorities. I feel like that really demonstrated itself this year. Everyone was busy. Everyone was busy to the nth degree.
Mm,
And the year
hmm.
seemed to drag and fly by at the same at the same time. And maybe coming out of, again, the last time I'll use the P word.
No,
Nope,
you
don't do
cannot.
it.
You can't use that now. You can't use that. You can't even reference that anymore.
Okay, okay. Well,
Can't.
was 2024 the year that we officially got back to normal in terms
Yeah, I
of
think it's business as
events
usual. Yeah.
and okay, fine. Business as usual. Business as
Mm.
usual, which then just made things busier because we're still doing hybrid. I'm still having just as many Zoom meetings as I did in 2021, but I also now have to travel and do the in person.
Yeah.
So it's the magnification of both, and I think members are feeling it too. I don't think membership dropped as much as I may have expected this year in reading some
No.
of the membership reports and white papers from different research entities and association consultancies. It seemed like memberships holding on. So the cliff that we all may have expected from retirements and lack of value. I don't know that demonstrated itself, but it just felt like a really busy crap year for a lot of people. It just exhausting. It was an exhausting year.
Yes, yes. And I think, and I, I'm not. In one sense, I'm not complaining that it's an exhausting year. It's actually a good thing that we're getting toward the end of the 12-month cycle, and
Yeah.
we're thinking actually it is good that we're busy because members are continue to see value in in their membership body, in their organization,
Yeah.
in their trade association, etc. That's a good thing, and you're absolutely right.
You're right.
It's
Good
not,
problem to have. Good problem to have.
absolutely. I think as you're talking there, and you were kind of talking about that hybrid piece, that actually I think could be at the at the sort of the nub of the issue in a lot in many ways, because I think maybe we spoke about this the other day on a pod. I don't have time to think anymore
Yeah.
because I'm either on the road getting somewhere, or we are constantly back to back online.
Yep.
Um, and that's actually the worst of all worlds in many
Right.
ways, and so members' expectations, thankfully. are still high in the sense that we value our membership organization, we want to be part of it, we recognize its positive impact, but we also now expect increasingly 24/7. It feels
Yeah.
24/7 access to our
Yeah.
resources, access to support, access
Yeah.
to a human being. And that is, I think there's a lot of I think that the pressure on our sector is perhaps starting to show. I don't
Well,
know. And I worry that's I think managing members' expectations perhaps needs to be something that we focus on in 2025 because otherwise we will
and
become spread too thin.
yeah. Well, and we are. And the gap between, or the difference between the expectations of maybe our legacy members and our
Yes.
new members is
Hmm.
only getting wider. And we don't know who to kind of serve first or cater to out of, I don't know, fear of what the future of the board, the future of membership, the future of the organization looks like. I know many staff who are burned out and more than burned out. They were burned out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
There was I know with colleagues and clients and friends in the space, there was a lot of exhaustion. There was a lot of burnout. I know people who, took new positions, regretted it, have been in long positions that they want out of. A
Yeah.
lot of, a
Hmm.
lot of, and we chatted about that over the Halloween episode. But it was an interesting year as well, because I feel like all the energy and effort put into wellness and vulnerability seemed to kind of be over that phase, maybe that attention we gave to it during COVID is now long over, and everybody expects
Yeah.
everything again. I
Yeah.
also was
Hmm.
disappointed to see that a lot of DEI initiatives
Yeah.
were abandoned. Maybe that's too strong of a word.
Well, I
But
think, I think maybe not abandoned, but yeah, but certainly challenged, but not in a necessarily, from the right angle. Challenged from
yeah,
a deconstructive place, if you like,
yeah, yeah. And just
absolutely,
because
yeah,
something's hard to measure doesn't mean it's not important. I mean, we deal with this
absolutely.
at the
Hmm.
strategic planning level all the time. Um, just because you can't wrap your head around how you're going to track or what your immediate points of progress are going to be doesn't mean something isn't worth investing in. And 2024, strategic planning wise, was the year where I really had to have my clients focus on capacity. What is plausible? What is realistic? We want to be aspirational, we want to be transformative, but none of that matters if we can't do it. None of
Yeah.
that matters if we don't have the staff for it, if we don't have the
Hmm.
resources for it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Hmm.
there's capacity and bandwidth, and then there's dream and mission. And I think this year was really about maybe reining it in a little bit. We don't have to react anymore. We're not putting out all the fires we may have been in the previous years, but now
Hmm.
it's about what's really plausible and necessary, because 2030 is around the corner.
Yeah.
2030 is around the corner.
Yeah. Oh my
And
God. You're right. We recorded a podcast. What does your member look like in 2030?
I
And
know
that was 5 years ago.
I know we're going to
Oh
have to
my
update. We're
God.
going to have to update some of this. And, then we're going to be talking about 2040. And it's exciting, it's overwhelming, it's exhausting. And as much as I think we all feel run ragged and tired and behind the eight ball, if I can add in a few more cliches here at the end of the year, I'm looking forward to that time where I hope everyone's going to have their out of office on. Can we all agree, just as a sector, to close from Christmas Eve to January 2nd? Can we just all agree?
Um, oh, yeah, well, I mean, I'm totally up for it, but
Because I can't get
yeah,
ahead. I can't catch up if I'm still having to do.
but I think this
And
goes back to you're right, and I think this goes back to what we were saying about expectations. We're not managing. We need to better manage members' expectations,
yeah,
and we talk a lot, in fact, I was running a session just this week, and we were talking about managing expectations and recognizing that we can't be everything to everybody. You try to do that, you will
yeah,
fail
yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
And that I would much rather see an organization be, Um, if be the very, very, very best at the one thing that only that organization delivers,
Yeah.
rather than simply equating value proposition and value as layering on more and more and more and more opportunities. And this goes right back to episode 1 of Association Podcast, Association
Look at
Transformation,
that.
way back in July
Way
2020, where
back.
we spoke about purposeful abandonment, and it's still something that
Yeah.
people are struggling with,
Yeah.
and there's a strange mix at the moment, and I think our Halloween episode this year, you mentioned that just a second ago, really highlighted, I think, for me, di some of the disconnect between operational realities,
Hmm.
strategic ambitions, and uncertainty or an unwillingness to recognize roles and responsibilities. I've
Yeah.
noticed a lot of, and we mentioned this in that Halloween episode, a lot of bad behavior, extremely bad
Yeah.
behavior in
Yeah.
boardrooms the last 12 months.
And maybe
Staggering,
that's
some of
what's
it.
brought me around. I mean, 2024, I will admit, is the year that I am
Oh.
ready to embrace governance as leadership, the importance of governance, I'm in, I get it, and I'm ready to invest in it. I'm ready to elevate it, spotlight it, put more attention on it.
Yeah,
It's an area that as soon as you get that group ready and they're primed and they're
they move on.
functioning at the highest level, their term's over. And
Yeah.
it's just this
Hmm.
exhausting, never ending governance cycle.
Hmm.
So I'm in it. I get it. This 2024 is the year that I embrace it, and I understand its necessity. Maybe because of just how horrific some of the examples we've seen have been, but it will always be there. And we talked, interestingly, when we went to the Philippines last month, we talked about governance as the first layer, the first and most accessible way for an organization to get their house in order so they
Yes.
could then have a
Hmm.
larger impact. And I really
Yes.
like thinking about governance, not as punitive, not as something that has to be done to keep people from being bad, but as a proactive and positive tool that then frees you, liberates you to go and think bigger.
Absolutely, 100%. And it must never be a tool that allows you to be badly behaved,
No, God,
which I
no.
think again I've seen a wee bit of that. Certainly, very recently, post Halloween episode, I've seen even more um,
Horrors,
travesties of justice, quite
travesties.
frankly. Yeah, so yeah, I think in 2025, let's think about what can we control, where do we really add value? Where do we realize impact? And across the organization, I'm not just talking about what we put out the door as part of the value proposition. Internally, what are our skills, our expertise, our strengths, our
Yeah,
weaknesses? Where do we really maximize our opportunities? And that's true for the boardroom. It's true for the membership teams, the communications teams, the event management teams. Where can we be as efficient and as effective and as impactful as possible? And I think it all goes back to the piece around managing
expectations.
expectations.
I like that. I like that. Let's do fewer things better in
Yeah,
2025.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. This year we were supposed to complain less and do more. I don't know if
Which
we
is
succeeded
ironic given that most of this episode, all we've done is
in
bemoan
complaining.
2024.
Okay, all right, you're right. You're right, right. Let's talk about some things we're thankful for. I really enjoyed our trip to the Philippines and the
Loved it.
first certificate in association governance, and was
Yes.
so proud of that group and thankful for the opportunity to pilot that and kick it off. Excited to do more of those next year. Thankful for you. I mean, we hit 100 episodes. We had some amazing guests
Yeah,
this
we did.
year. Association
Hmm.
transformation is in the top 50% of all podcasts in terms of downloads and episodes and views and countries that
General
we're in.
general awesomeness basically
General
is what we wanted.
awesomeness.
General awesomeness. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had some really amazing clients this year who showed me the grace and patience that I needed during some difficult times, but clients that saw things through and followed the plan and did what they said they were going to do, and people who were, constructively candid and willing to hold up that mirror to themselves and then
hmm
see some
hmm
change through. And that was really great. We had some awesome guests on the pod. And what else did we do this year? I mean, we got to speak in person. We've seen each other more this year than we have our entire history.
Entire lives we have. We went to Richmond. We did Richmond.
We
We
did
did
we
some
did
really good
Richmond.
sessions there. We went to
We did
Champaign,
Chicago.
Illinois.
Oh,
Yeah.
Champaign, Illinois. Yes. We
I
did the
finally got my
Philippines.
suitcase back from Champaign, Illinois. It finally rocked up 8 weeks later.
So wait, are
Um,
you complaining or are you thankful?
I
Or
don't
both?
know. It's just a grey area for me, that one.
There you go. There you go. So let's talk about 2025. What do we, based on where we are with both clients, with the things that we're working on in terms of white papers and session topics we're submitting, what do we see coming? What's 2025 going to hold for the sector?
Oh my God. I wish you'd prep me before we started recording. I'd have an answer ready.
Oh, come on. We don't rehearse. This is a one take situation, buddy.
Trust. Trust is our first
Oh,
focus, the first white paper we put at the door in 2025.
yeah.
We're going to be talking about trust and the value of expertise and, where, the incredible position of responsibility, arguably, that membership
Yeah.
organizations occupy, and how we need to be cognizant of these issues around trust in expertise, faith in experts, etc. It's an ongoing issue that's undermined an awful lot of discourse, public discourse in the last, well, certainly the last few years, to say the least.
Yeah.
And I think, we yeah, 25 onwards will be a strange time potentially. And I think
Are
it's
you are
something
you
that,
referring to something specific?
well, we don't like to be political on
We don't
um
po- we
on
don't
on
we don't
AT,
talk politics. That's right.
but I think it is fair to say that we're entering uncharted waters, and so understanding and being able to articulate with confidence the value and the impact that we as a sector bring to the
Yeah.
table is
Yeah.
significant. Is significant,
I
and
want memberships. I want membership associations to be the safe harbor for
yes,
discourse, for
hmm.
communities that are working to achieve something and rising above disagreement. I want membership bodies to be what we want government to be what we want society to be, and be these microcosms of collaboration and constructive conflict. And maybe that's again all aspirational, but if we can leave all the baggage at the door that isn't related to the association, isn't related to the sector we represent, I think there's potential for that.
I see what you're saying about it being aspirational. I agree. In a sort of, in a reality check, yes, arguably for some it is aspirational. For everybody, it's absolutely critical, however. It's absolutely
Yeah.
necessary. We've done a couple of sessions this year around constructive conflict. And I must admit, I'm quite surprised at I don't know why, but I was quite surprised at that people still wanted to understand that, to wanted to engage
Yeah.
in it. And it went down really, really well. It's gone
It's
down and
real
it
life.
continues to go down. Yeah, and that I get, and subsequently, there's a focus, I think, next year, for us. That's some of the work that we're putting in, some of the speaking sessions we're running next year focused on that piece.
Yeah.
Are we also doing some work around? We're building on our white paper on systems management, I think, aren't we? I
Absolutely.
think we've
Absolutely. I
got
mean,
some sessions planned for that.
there's never not a good time to talk about systems thinking. And I think as next generation members come in, they're expecting to have a holistic experience, not just,
Yes.
oh, I'm on this committee, or oh, I attended this conference. And I think to present a holistic experience, we have to have a more systems approach to the organization. And I like the idea of it because to me it brings a science to association management. And I
Yeah.
don't think association management needs to be all experience, gut and instinct. I think there should be kind of rules of engagement and
Yeah.
goals
Hmm.
for our approach to things. This is, as you and I've talked all the time, this is not a job. This is a profession, and we've committed ourselves to this
Yeah.
career,
Hmm.
this path, and invested in our own development and expertise. And in order to get our members to see us in that way, to get our boards to see us in that way, we have to conduct ourselves in that way and use research and use data and use systems to execute on our operational goals and our mission goals.
And then finally, in terms of what I'm sort of thinking right now as kind of another key priority for us, and I can't believe it. I can't even believe I'm saying these words.
Oh dear God.
I can't even believe it. We're actually going to focus as a kind of key theme of our work around governance as leadership. I can't even believe Elisa is
What has
doing
happened
this.
to me?
Oh my
Oh,
God, what parallel universe is this?
I know, I
But that
know.
is, we've emphasized that greatly, the impact of the boardroom, of the governance piece, the governance function. And so actually, yes, we're rolling out not only the certificate of association governance more broadly, but also we have plans as well for various residential pieces where we're going to be bringing people together, and really getting into the detail and the realities of governance as leadership. And what does it mean in
Yeah,
practice? So that we're not just
yeah,
talking about it, in a theory. We can actually make sure that boards and executives can have their exchange of expectations as well.
yeah,
Um, so that we do see greater alignment and greater efficiency and effectiveness at that very, very senior level of every organization. That's like that for me.
yeah,
That's always been a priority for me. It's just, this year.
yeah. Well, and I think it's a continuation of this three-legged stool of strategy and foresight and leadership. And with those three legs, I mean, you can have a foundation upon which you can achieve anything.
Yes.
Governance may be the floor upon which that stool stands.
Mhm.
Um, but I love analogies and
I prefer to think of
cliches.
it as a
So,
swamp. Governance is the swamp that we're all wading through to
oh
get
my
to.
God. See, this is why people think you're grumpy because you go so dark, so quickly, so dark.
I
But
spend a lot of time in boardrooms. Is it any wonder I'm so dark?
there you go. I'm thankful for my new microphone that you got me for Christmas. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Isn't
You're very
it?
welcome. And you
I feel
sound
so I feel so legitimate, like I'm a newscaster.
well. I
I'm
love that you've got your box. What is it called? There's that microphone box, that's got the branding on it. I don't seem to be able to get mine
absolutely.
on mine. I can't seem to do it on mine. I might have to have a look next year. But
No, I love it. I wore my Christmas sweater. I've got my Association Transformation microphone. Like you can hear me better now. Things are
I've
great.
got my eggnog, which is really coffee because we don't really know what eggnog is over here, but
It's
that's
not
coffee.
coffee.
No, but that's what I'm drinking, but I'm calling it eggnog. My chestnuts are roasting, so it's all good.
Whoa,
Um,
whoa, whoa. This just got God, we're cussing in this episode. We're talking about your chestnuts. This is weird.
dear me.
This
Uh,
is weird.
and thank you. All right. Thank you for being, and I think I made this clear when we recorded the 100th episode. The podcast is a highlight for me every week, and working with you is obviously a massive highlight of the day job. So, I'm looking forward to doing more in 2025.
It's going to be great. 2025 is going to be awesome. I demand it. I expect it. I will deliver on it. I'm very, very excited about 2025. I expect nothing better than
Yeah,
amazingness.
amazing. But according to my TikTok feed, Sagittarians are now going to have the most amazing 18 months of my life. So, you know, that's what I'm hearing on TikTok. So it must be true.
Oh my gosh, TikTok. We won't even, again, we're not going to get political. Uh,
Is it banned in America now? Is it going to be
uh,
banned? I can't
I don't
remember.
know. I
It
haven't
all kind of
watched the
died out,
news
didn't it? It all
today.
kind of went a bit, it all just kind of died out. There was all that fuss, and then it all just went a bit like artificial intelligence, a wee bit. We were all going to lose our jobs by April last year. And look, here we all still are again.
There we
I think
are.
the whole tech piece as well. I think that's something we got to get under the skin of properly. Not necessarily me and you. I think the industry, the sector needs to kind of get to grips as to where we are at on the technology curve.
Why?
Um,
Why do we need to get to grips with it? Adapt to it, use what works for you. They're just tools and resources. We're obsessed about it. That's what's so annoying is about AI. Everyone's obsession with it.
well,
Just
that's what I
use
mean.
it or don't use it.
Well, that's what I mean when I say get to grips. Maybe it means something different in your part of the world, but that's what I mean. We just need to be comfortable with it and
Yeah,
move on and stop obsessing. That's exactly what I mean. I don't want AI to be an unwelcome distraction. I just want us to understand where we're at and then just get on with the day
yeah,
job, as it were.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And we don't need to totally understand it to use it.
Good
I
God,
use
no.
many tools. I use many technology tools that I do not understand at all that make my life better, my work product better, and are great,
There
usable,
you go.
efficient, effective. Um, so yeah, 2025, we're gonna hopefully do a couple speaking things. We're gonna launch some more certificate of association governance programs. I need to come to London this year or next year in 2025.
Come to London, England, where the
Yeah,
sun never shines. Yes, you should. You should. When it rains 24/7. You definitely, we got to get you over here. All these,
yeah.
I'm the one who's I'm perpetually jet lagged. So it's time for you to start, owning some of that transatlantic
Hey,
carbon.
let's get some UK clients. Let's get some speaking engagements. Let's do London. Let's do Australia. Let's do big things in 2025. It's going to be great. 2025 is going to be great. It has to be. Please.
Dear God, please be great. Okay.
Please be great. Please be great. But we've got a lot of great guests already scheduled. I know we've got your nerdy best friend scheduled. We've got some discussions about imposter phenomenon. We've got even a survivor winner from the TV show. It's going to be pretty amazing podcast. Association 2025
Five.
Association Transfer
You
20. I
can't
know I'm going to have to get
remember.
the number right.
Have you been drinking the eggnog already at
You don't really
10:30 in the
ever know
morning?
what's in my can. You never
No,
really know.
indeed. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But no, have a great holiday. I know this is our last pod of the year.
Yeah,
We're
we'll be off
gonna,
for the next 2 weeks and then we'll be
yeah,
back on I think the 6th of January we'll be back.
we're gonna, yeah, take a little break, be back in the new year. We wish everyone the best. Stay warm, stay
Hmm.
healthy. Give your family, as annoying as they may be, big hugs, big kisses, and just get to 2025. Do you have anything to say? What's your
Oh, I
sign off?
thought I thought you was no, I was just listening. I thought you were signing off then. I thought and then I was ready to stop, but yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Happy
Until next
holidays.
time, until next time, put your members and your mission first.